Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Tataya Patige Namaha. Welcome to all for this session on Ramayana, chapter 1 of Ayodhya Kanda. In the previous chapters, we have seen the Balakanda, where the childhood as well, right up to the marriage of Rama and Sita, were explained. And now we continue into his adulthood, where Rama is about to be crowned as the king of Ayodhya. In the meantime, many incidents happen, and Rama, instead of being crowned as a king of Ayodhya, he quit Ayodhya, went into an exile. Let us see what events led to that and how it becomes a turning point in the story of Ramayana. The great soul Bharata, here you remember Dasharatha living with along with all his four sons. He is living in Ayodhya. Great soul Bharata affectionately requested the pious Shatrughna to accompany him on the journey to his maternal grandfather because the people from the maternal uncle from the Ayodhya Desha, Kekaya, the state of Kekaya, he came there to take Bharata to his grandfather's town because Kaikeyi was the daughter of the king of Kekaya, and Bharata, being the son of Kaikeyi, he came there to take Bharata to his maternal uncle's maternal grandfather's town or the city. Enjoying abundant hospitality and held by their uncle Ashwapati in all affection, and the two brothers dwelled there happily, satisfied with the love and entertainment bestowed on them. They daily remembered their royal father, the aged monarch, and the king also thought of his sons now in a distant country. The four sons of the aged king were as dear to him as his own four arms issuing from his body. Yet Rama, resembling Brahma, endowed with every good attribute, was dearest to his father. Sri Rama, the eternal Purusha, the Lord Vishnu himself, descended on earth on the entreaty of the gods to slay Ravana, enemy of whole world. Charming Queen Kausalya, glowing with maternal love for her son Ramachandra, resembled Aditi at birth of Indra. Unequaled in beauty, brave and chivalrous, never speaking ill of others, Rama inherited the virtues of his illustrious father of a cheerful disposition, speaking soft words to all, never returning a harsh answer when treated with contumely. When injured, pardoning the offender and remembering the offense no more, showing gratitude for the least of favor, but devoting his leisure from affairs of state to seeking the friendship of those eminent in wisdom, learning, age, and conduct. Wise and generous, he was foremost in addressing others, speaking with affection, supremely courageous, yet not rendered vain, glorious by his own powers, never uttering falsehood, honoring the learned and the aged, showing regard for his people who were devoted to him, having overcome the wrath passingly compassionate, venerating the Brahmins, showing extreme pity for the poor, well versed in public and individual responsibilities, fulfilling his domestic duties not only to add luster to the dynasty but also to attain an exalted state in the other world. Wise in the discharge of his obligations as a scion of House of Ikshvaku, proving himself tender and loving to those who sought his protection, restraining the evildoer, ever seeking the weal of his checks, eschewing frivolous pursuits and shallow talk, neither hearing nor speaking out against Dharma, in debate equal in eloquence to Brahaspati, free from infirmities, youthful, handsome, having knowledge of time and space, and being able to divine the contents of man's heart at a single glance. Verily, a great sage, and for his marvelous qualities as dear to the people as life itself. Profoundly learned in the science and the philosophy of the Veda, which he had studied with his spiritual preceptor, he even excelled his father in the art of warfare, the repository of all auspiciousness, virtuous, cheerful, truthful, and guileless, having received full instruction from the learned Brahmins in sacred and secular policy, knowing the significance of virtue, maternal prosperity, and enjoyment of prodigious memory, conversant with worldly wisdom, possessing a pleasing disposition, gentle, able to conceal his thoughts, recognizing when to refuse and when to accept material gifts, winning many friends, firm in his devotion to his Guru and to God, countenancing no sin, never uttering a bitter word or one which would agitate the hearts of others, energetic, pouring his own faults while excusing those of others, a great advocate, grateful, lending support to those he held in affection, in all circumstances true to his word, capable of protecting the interests of his family and friends, knowing how to mete out retribution to the wicked, acquiring wealth by just means, and appreciating how to distribute it with discrimination, proficient in the Veda, following the literary and dramatic arts with enthusiasm, endowed with the gift of oratory in Sanskrita and his own native tongue, depending on right alone for felicity and prosperity, prudent, accomplished in sport, music, and painting, an incomparable rider, whether mounted on horse or elephant, skilled in archery, renowned in the field, forestalling the enemy in attack, and knowing how to destroy his defenses, fired with righteous wrath when engaging in combat, so that neither God nor Titan would withstand him, speaking not against any, free from pride and envy, ever submissive, yet overruled in his resolve by none, preeminent among his people, renowned in the three worlds, in forbearance resembling the earth, in wisdom equal to Brahaspati, in courage like unto Indra, shining resplendent like the full moon in the love of his people and his father, worshipped for his excellent qualities, his matchless valor and his integrity. Earth desired to make him her lord. Seeing his illustrious son manifesting these qualities, King Dasharatha began to reflect in this wise: I have become old and have ruled a full measure of years. I desire to see Rama crowned while I yet live. This inclination grew in the mind of the king, and he waited eagerly for the time when he might resign his throne in favor of Rama. He reflected: Rama, resembling a cloud, raining compassion on all, beloved far beyond myself, in valor equal to Yama and Indra, in understanding like Brihaspati, in endurance like unto a mountain, exceeding myself in excellent attributes. On him do I desire to confer the dominion of the earth. This will be my heaven. Then the great sovereign, summoning his ministers, communicated to them his resolve to proclaim Rama endowed with those powers rare even in a king, and a mind of surpassing virtues as heir parent. At that time, inauspicious portents appeared on the earth and in the heavens, and the king, conscious that he had grown old, reflected that by bestowing the throne on Rama, he would gratify his only son and also assuage his own sorrow and benefit his people. Filled with affection for his subjects and for their good, he desired to increase their felicity by installing Rama as heir apparent. When the hour was auspicious, summoning the subject princes and the inhabitants of other cities and lands with due respect, aged monarch entertained them in his palaces, bestowing on them gifts of various kinds. But the sovereign Kaikeya, Kekaya and the sovereign of Kekaya and the king of Mithila were not informed on the occasion, since they would hear of it thereafter, because it takes at least 3 4 days of journey to reach out to Kekaya and Mithila, which are little away from Ayodhya. And in Ayodhya, this decision is happening on the day, and the next day morning, Rama's incoronation is being planned. Seated in the assembly, sorry, the king resembled Prajapati in the midst of his subjects, the kings of the earth coming together in council, King Dasharatha occupying the throne, and they taking the places prepared for them, reverently faced the royal dais, observing the traditions of the court, surrounded by his feudal lords and the elders. The king appeared like Indra sitting among the gods. Thus ended chapter 1 of Ayodhya Kanda in Ramayana. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmira Puravasini Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Bye.